If you do not want to miss the best moments that come out of these raw, completely unplanned conversations that I have with these very interesting people, then make sure you subscribe to this channel, PGX Clips, and press the bell icon top so that you know the next time we post. And I wonder, designing black holes, working on Ex Machina, and I'm sure at this point, there's a large part of what you do that involves artificial intelligence, the history of your work involves computer-generated images and so on. Do you ever sit at night drinking your evening tea wondering, bro, what the hell? Like, where is this world? Like, it's a lot of futurism you're dealing with. It's a lot of science fiction you're dealing with. It's a lot of world building you're dealing with. Does that invite personal thoughts about where are we going? Do you ever wonder that? How's that changing the landscape of our reality?
See, the thing is that, for us, or for me personally, the journey that I've been on, what we're doing actually is almost, to hate to break it down and make it feel less interesting, is almost like, it's like bread and butter for us. We almost start most meetings with saying, let's do something that's not been done before. Like, what are we going to do this time?
Right.
So we are kind of coming to the drawing board saying, okay, they've done that. What are we going to do next? So that's almost your job right now every day, to think about what comes next. And that is the challenge, that's the opportunity, that's the fun. So it's not being nostalgic about what you've done, because I've not had that privilege yet to sit back and look at my work.
Yeah, you're still running right now.
You're still, really running, climbing leaping.
Yes. Right.
We're trying to do many different things. So that's the part that one is trying to, sort of draw inspiration from that. Okay, how are we going to do the next step? How are we going to do this now? That's the next challenge that a Denis or a Nolan or our top creative filmmaker in the world is going to come in and throw in front of us. And that sort of is what is the exciting part of my job. But I'm sure in a few years when I'm older and grayer, I guess I'll probably sit back with that cup of tea and think about your question in terms of...
No, I don't even mean as like reflecting on your own work, but more so as to the trajectory of the world. You see, it's an interesting perspective. I can ask a professor, what do you think where the world is going? I can ask a politician.
Okay.
Very rarely do you deal with artists who deal in futurism, who deal in imagining what the world will look like in the future. Now, Ex Machina is very unique because you see this AI branch of things and the way it is progressing. There is some probability percentage that the world looks like Ex Machina, where there is a sentient robot. There is a percentage possibility that it looks like Interstellar, where we've managed to do spacefaring to this extent. And Dune is very interesting in this way because I quote this very often. Dune is set in a universe where they tried computers, realized this is not for us, switched them off and went back to pen and paper, right? And so that takes the information technology progress to its far extreme and then says no. And so you're dealing with all these aspects as an artist, as a creative of the future. And do you ever wonder about the future? What is the world your kids will inherit and their kids will inherit?
As in, I personally get excited by tech in general. So I don't fear it. I actually generally embrace it, having grown at that cross-section of when analog went to digital. I always say to my kids that my generation was probably the last one that saw everything that was in analog and then saw the digital sort of happen right there.
Right.
And all of those transitions we did with a lot of enthusiasm, because we were like, okay, this is going to make it better. It's going to make it more seamless. It's going to make it... And while there's a part of me that still craves the nostalgia of analog, but I still generally believe that there is a certain progression that is happening, that ultimately we will find ways around it. Because I genuinely believe as an optimist that it's our own creation. No, we will do something to better it.
Right.
The world has been fraught with conflict and wars in our entire history of human civilization as we know it. So some of these things are going to continue, but ultimately there is no end to any of this. It's the next phase, the next war, the next weapon, the next, invention that happens will again bring a new set of challenges, complexities, problems that you will solve. So I'm not troubled by it because I just feel like that is evolution. It's like it's evolution of humanity, and I think that I'm not troubled by it.
You're not troubled by that at all.
Not troubled by
What is your biggest fear, if I may ask?
See, fears we all have many. You know, I
Put you in the spot. You're thinking.
because you know the fear is of the fear of not knowing what to do. To me, is a big fear.
Explain.
That if you get to a place in your life where you feel like I don't know what to do next, I'm lost. Like right now, when I'm doing something, if I'm making the Ramayana, I'm building my company, I'm going to the West, I'm trying to take on these challenges, I'm trying to fulfill it, I'm trying to do something for my kids or my family. I have purpose, I have direction, I have. While there may be challenges in achieving that, there may be complexities in doing or succeeding on that. That is all par for course because I know where I want to go. And I know what I'm doing is not necessarily easy or done before, whatever, but I know what I want to do. The fear for me is you wake up one fine day and you're like, you're just irrelevant. You just are clueless about what you're going to do next. And that withering away, just, like being irrelevant, withering away is probably my greatest fear.
Interesting. Thank you for being honest. I appreciate that. What is it like in view of something like that? Because, you speak of irrelevance. Relevance big. In view of that, what is it like winning an Academy Award? Because that's somewhat kind of the antidote to irrelevance, right? Like you're part of history in some way. It's probably the biggest award you can get in cinema.
Again, I don't want to be a downer. It's like I spoke to you about money, and I'll say the same thing about an Academy Award. And I'm not saying it because I earned money or we won a lot of Academy Awards. But the thing is that these are all validations of your effort.
Right.
The year that we got the award for Dune, we also worked on James Bond. For the first time in 40 years, James Bond was nominated for an Academy Award. We were nominated for that as well.
This is Spectre.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I think No Time to Die.
Oh, No Time to Die.
Okay. So, in 40 years, James Bond was nominated for an Academy Award, and we made that happen. We were the lead company that did that. So, to me, was No Time to Die and Dune and three others who were there, and the coin toss could have been won by anybody. All the people that did those jobs were pretty at the edge, at the top end of their game. Had we not got the Oscar, did that make us any less relevant? So I don't want to ever look at myself in the measure of an award or money, because that, to me, is every year there's an Oscar award.
Right.
Every year there is somebody who becomes the richest person in the world.
Right.
What's the point? Like, to me, it's great that you're playing at the top end of the game. You're striving for excellence. You're doing your best. That is critical. But if I just measured my life if I didn't win any Oscars, would I have been a lesser person today? Maybe in your eyes, maybe in the world's eyes, not in my eyes. Because I'm still the same kid in a garage with an Apple computer, building his journey and trying to do what he can.
Right.
I'm still aspirational. I'm still making a Ramayana with the same aspiration I started my company at 18. So I am only driven by my aspiration. What am I going to do next? Now, we make the biggest hit in the world. Thank you so much. And if it's not, I still tried. There's nothing I can do beyond that. So in my head, what is most important is what am I doing? And if I'm doing the best I can and I'm pushing myself to the edge and I'm trying to live by that ideal, now whether I make a lot of money, less money, get the award, don't get the award, I can't control it. Why do I care?
Interesting. It's very important, you saying that as what I'm hearing is I don't define my measure of success with the awards and the money I make. And in some sense, it can only come from somebody who's had it, because if somebody who's not had it says it, people will not believe it, and probably they themselves will not believe it. But it's very important the way you phrase this, as artists should be inspired by what is pure and spiritual about their art, and not so much about the awards and the recognition.
So I'll make one more disclosure, because as a kid, my grandfather won a lot of awards. Okay, and he was one of the most celebrated cinematographers of his time. As a kid, I used to see a lot of awards in our living room, from the National Award to all the classics that he shot back in the day. And I was a kid in school, mediocre in class, pretty chubby, so wasn't necessarily the best at sports. So I was not winning awards or medals or any of that. So I was very aspirational to win a lot of awards. Now, that was something that I felt, that recognition, that walk down the,
Red carpet or
when you
whatever.
get the clapping and you get everybody's celebration. It's a great moment. I'm not denying that. But it's not because we got a lot of them. Because I've had more award wins than, while the Oscars are now the front and center of it. But for 20 years before that, our company won awards in India on every major award we won multiple times, constantly. So you realize that we're doing good work. That's why we're getting the awards. And when you win the awards, you realize the joy is in doing great work.
Yeah.
The piece of metal actually fades very quickly.
Right.
So I'm not trying to bring down the value of the award because that's what drives a lot of us.
Right.
It drove me also at a certain point. But now what I've realized is that driving excellence and maintaining it, because what you don't want is the award to make you arrogant.
Right.
Oh, we've got so many Oscars, we are the best.
And then you relax.
You're not the best.
Right.
That's wrong. Did you do your best this time? Each time, are you the best? Just because I've won the Cricket World Cup 1 year, does that mean we're the best cricket team in the world? Because the next match itself, you lost. So, that is the reality of where we all sit in our own life, in the real world. That award is great for that moment, that day, that project. It came together. Yeah, we did great work. And thank God we won the award. But the challenge is not that. The challenge is how do you keep driving a line of excellence? Because that is hard for anybody. It's hard for the best in the world to keep doing their best work every day.
Yeah.
That level of performance pressure is huge. So to me, what I want to tell people or my kids or the next generation is you got to enjoy not having to deliver the best, but being the best. You have to enjoy that journey. You have to enjoy. That is because then if it becomes fun, then it's not even a job anymore. That's why people say you got to love what you do, because the moment you're good at it, that failure will be staring at you every day on your face, and you're going to have to deal with it and come out smiling and winning.
Yeah. One of the most important traits in an entrepreneur's life is the ability to have a great attitude regardless of circumstance. Something I heard from somebody. It's a very, you just have to smile at the risk of failure, even at the possibility of it or the manifestation of it, and you've got to keep going. You've got to keep finding a way for your internal self to find you better the next day and the next day. What are you looking forward to now that filming is done for part 1?
No, the real job starts now. To be honest, it's getting this absolute, opportunity that I have in really bringing our greatest story, our greatest culture to the world. We got to really bring it to that level of finish and bring it to its core, which is to me the biggest part of the job. And then making sure that we can find distribution and marketing and a way to present it to the world. Which has again never been done before. So there's those two aspects of actually now making it and then finding a way to make sure the world can see it. Are the two biggest, the most critical steps in this entire journey. But that's again what gets me excited, because I'm like, that's one of it sits in the company that I own, and the other is the path of discovery and breaking new ground, because there is no international film that's ever been shown at this global scale to the world at the same time. It's never happened in 100 years. So that's where I believe that's the next big challenge, is to make sure that we can not just find the audience, but also find a way to show it to the audiences worldwide.
But there has to be a worldwide release in many languages, no?
Many languages. So I have to try and make that happen, which I again feel
It's a very good challenge to have.
cautiously optimistic. Like I said, I say to everybody, let's fail trying to win.
Yeah, right. As opposed to sitting
Let's
it out.
die on the battlefield. Now, what's the big deal? Yeah?
Right.
Go down fighting. What's the problem? I tried to do the best I could. It didn't happen. Okay, but I didn't change my approach. If I don't do it, somebody else will do it. See, we all have to build aspiration and opportunity. My grandfather did something. My father did something. I am doing something else. Hopefully my kids do the next thing. And it's not my kids. It could be any kid in the world. Ultimately, we're all giving, all of us are providing data to each other. If I can do it, you can do it.
Sure.
If I'm an 18-year-old who doesn't know much, can build this company and do that, so can you. That's the whole reason why there's such a proliferation of our startup culture, and our next generation is so confident and so strong because they're like, yeah, we've seen it. We're not. I don't think the kids of India today think about, oh, we were ruled by the British for so many years. What? What does that mean?
Yeah.
There's no sense of slavery, or there's no sense of that history, or how we were treated.
Submission or yeah, none of that.
And that is so good.
Yeah.
And that you can only see in the next generation.
Right. Right. No, aspiration is infectious.
And that is the point I'm trying to make, that let's all push the line and get to a place. If I don't do it, somebody else will do it. As long as we get to win at the end of the day, that's what matters.
Right. So 2026 Diwali, that's
Yes.
the release of the first part.
Yeah.
Are you at liberty to say what part of the entire story the first part will cover and what part will be the second part, or no?
Not yet.
Okay, we'll keep that a secret.
Let's keep that. There's a lot of stuff to come
Right.
in trailers and in future communication. So we'll try.
Sure.
and keep
Yeah,
that.
no problem. I feel like it's also best for the audiences to be like, shit, this ended right here. Like, that kind of feeling is actually very enjoyable. The magic of cinema with spoilers or having some things here and there leaking, it's not as fun. So yeah, we'll maintain that integrity for them. Guys, trust me, I cannot give you the beauty of this conversation in just this one clip. If you like this clip, then you have to go to our main channel and subscribe to it and press the bell icon because we post some amazing conversations for you on that channel.